I am a billionaire, and so are you. Let me explain. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kai. If you're watching my videos, YouTube tells me on average the viewer are 25 to 35. The general life expectancies of people these days in the Western world is around 80 years old. Now that gives most of us, myself included, more than 31 years to live ahead, which is great. But that also makes you a time billionaire, because 1 billion seconds equals to 31 years. And it really puts things into perspective. So that makes a lot of billionaires walking around this planet Earth. But you may say, well Kai, I don't care about having a billion seconds to live, whatever. I can't really buy myself anything from it, can I? And that's true, but at the same time, we also know that time equals money, right? The more time you have for something, the more you have opportunity to build more money and grow your wealth over time. And that's the important part here. Because look at this. This is an average 90-year human life in month. So all these dots symbolize a single month in a 90-year-old average person's life. So actually, when you look at it, on average, most of us are anywhere around here. So that's really not much time left for us, because the question is, what do you do in the remaining part of the years ahead? When you look at the typical life of an American, here you can see how things goes away. You enter the career and then you only have a few years of retirement. So, it sounds great, we have 1 billion seconds to live, but the question is, what do you do with that time? So you may not be a dollar, pound or euro billionaire, but you are a time billionaire. And that's a great start, because a lot of old people, they wish they could be younger. So it's great to be young and have the future ahead of you. But the important point is, what are you doing with it? We know what to do with the $1 billion, right? In case you win the lottery or $1 billion, oh, I would spend it on a yacht, I would travel, I would do this, I wouldn't work. We have all the plans we would do with $1 billion. But most of us don't really have a plan what to do with 1 billion seconds. We'll see what life brings. Maybe one day I have a family, one day I wish to quit my job and travel the world. Maybe. So we're not really having clear plans. Versus thinking about money, we have all the clear ideas what we would do with it. It's like energy, right? You exchange one for the other. If you only have very little time left, imagine you're coming to the end of your life, you're 80 years old, probably not going to take big risks or start a new company. So use the time while you're young. It will fly faster than you think, because time is ticking for all of us. And for me, looking at this chart, it really begs the question, do I want to spend the entire weekend Netflixing away or mindlessly scrolling Instagram? Or do I want to do something productive, add value, get better and improve my skills? And it goes back to asking yourself, why do we want money in the first place? Because we want a certain comfort, right? We want a more comfortable life. We want to eat in better restaurants, travel business or first class around the world, stay in fancy hotels. At least a lot of us have these ambitions, and that's fine to have, right? There's nothing wrong with this. So basically what we're seeking is comfort, a comfortable life. But the thing that gets us to comfort is often discomfort or becoming uncomfortable. Let me ask you a question. Do you know how lobsters grow? A newborn lobster is a tiny little animal and they have a shell around them, and the shell doesn't grow. So what happens? The lobster is born with a bigger shell than the actual body. So over time, as the lobster eats and grows, it grows into the shell to a point where it becomes uncomfortable. Then it goes under the rock, it hides itself, it casts off the old shell, it grows back a bigger new shell, and then it comes out, lives their lives, and the whole process begins once again until it grows out the existing shell. It does the same procedure until it grows in a big lobster. So the impetus here for its growth is being uncomfortable. If we were lobsters in our days, we would go to the pharmacy that would give us some kind of medicine in order not to have pain, and we wouldn't need to expand. So being uncomfortable, wanting to expand, grow, that's in the nature of beings in the world, right? Take Elon Musk, for example, the richest man in the world and the real visionary. I recently saw an interview with him where he said for 3 years he was sleeping in their first factories when they were setting up the Tesla. He was literally sleeping on the floor in the factory to be close to the ground, to know what's going on. He was sleep deprived. I think he only got 4 or 5 hours a night. He definitely said it's not healthy by any stretch of the imagination. But if he hadn't done this, Tesla most likely would have gone bust. So being there, knowing every single thing about the car manufacturing process really helped it to bring Tesla to where it is today. And that's often the difference. So you have to use your time, be uncomfortable to reach a stage of comfort. That's just how it is. Now, of course, having said that, at the same time, I do believe it's important to have a work-life balance, right? Because you don't want to burn yourself out. So as much as we want to strive and grow and succeed in life, at the same time, if we can't find time to enjoy it, also your time is running out, and you don't want to be the richest person on the graveyard, right? At least I don't want to. So you need to enjoy your life as well and spend the money that you have and look after yourself. But don't get too comfortable, because otherwise you will lose out. And as the saying goes, success is only rented, and the rent is due every single day. So you have to keep on pushing and prove yourself and your worth and your success every single day. You never made it. You made it once you're not on the planet anymore, then you really made it. But other than that, you have to continuously push going forward. And also look at yourself. Is my 9-to-5 job that I'm doing really bringing me fulfillment and satisfaction? Is it pushing me forward? Am I learning new things? It doesn't mean you have to change your job every single year, but I think it's important to find something where you have a true passion and where you can see yourself growing and succeeding over time. Because if you're just in a position where you can't develop at all, I think it's really wasting your precious life away. And if you do think you have more to offer to the world, you have to ask yourself, what's holding me back? Why can I not do more? And that's a great point, because the first solution to fix a problem is identifying that you have one. So ask yourself, what's my fear? What's holding me back to not take a new step, take a new job, develop myself, change my career, put myself out there? For me, it was the fear of being judged. I thought, if I put a YouTube video out there, what if my colleagues see that, or if anyone else see that knows me, they will be judging me and thinking, why is he doing this? What is this? What is that? But then I realized the most successful and brilliant people in the world, they're being judged. Some people like them, some people don't. That's natural, right? If you want to make everyone happy, then sell ice cream. But otherwise, you can't be doing anything. So it's important to realize your fears and try to overcome that. Again, get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And doing this consistently and over time will definitely propel you forward. And the importance of time is also coming back to investing, because obviously in this channel we speak mostly about investing, and time is so essential when you invest. Now I do understand that a lot of the young viewers, they don't really have much time for investing. They want to invest into a coin or into stocks and go up within a matter of weeks to 10x their returns. But it goes in certain years, but in the long term, when you look at the history of various asset markets, that's just not normal, right? I mean, the S&P 500 returned 8 to 9% over the last 50 years. So that's just normal returns. You can have some great years, yes, but over time, these are regular returns. If you outperform that, great, but a 10x return in a year is just not sustainable for the long term. But having said this, time is on your side the earlier you start investing. So let's have a look at compound interest, which Albert Einstein called the 8th world wonder. So when we look at this over here, you can see the compound interest calculator. So let's imagine you're fairly young, you managed to save up $5,000, and you're going to be making monthly contributions of $100. So I think that's fairly feasible for a lot of people. So let's put monthly contributions of $100 for 5 years, and the expected return, as I said, usually we take the S&P 500 returns between 8 and 9%. So let's be a bit conservative and let's go for 8%. And the compound frequency is annually. So now you can see already, if I did this for 5 years, what will be the outcome. So the principal is basically my initial starting capital plus all the monthly contributions. The interest is what I would have gotten from the returns over time. So after 5 years, I would have contributed 11,000 and I would have made 3.3 thousand return basically, which is not bad. Now here comes the magic of compounding interest over time. The longer you invest, meaning the earlier you started investing, the more you start seeing the interest return. So the more I add over here, it will start changing. And let's go all the way to 31 years, which is $1 billion from now, which all of us have ahead. So after 31 years of continuously investing $100, and hopefully over this time period you would actually be able to increase your contributions to more than that, but let's imagine $100. So you will have $200,000 after that, which is amazing. You can see how it flipped around, how now your interest is actually significantly more than your principal. Means you would have contributed yourself by simply saving. If you wouldn't got any interest at all, it would have been $42,000, which still is not bad. But here, with the power of compound interest, you would have turned 160,000 purely out of the interest. So that's just accumulating over time. So that together adds up to 202,000, and that's just unbelievable. And it just shows you the more time you add. I can continue this game over here to let's say 40 years even, and you will see the number going only up, and the fraction of your own contribution gets significantly less versus interest becoming more and more relevant. And if I add, let's say $200, you can see how that starts to really shape up. If you manage to put a $500, let's just play the game here for, I will put 31 years. Let's go down over here. You will have almost 800,000. So let's say you manage $1,000 per month. You will have, after 1 billion seconds, over 1 million, $1.5 million. So that just shows you the power of compounding. And start early, because time can be your best friend or your worst enemy. So let me ask you, what do you think? Is money more important than time, or is time more important than money? Let me know in the comments what you think about it. And then think about asking the question to an 8-year-old millionaire. Would you rather have more time to live and give up some of his wealth? I think the answer is pretty clear. Time is the only thing we can't make more of. So use it wisely. Stop letting your fears control your life. Set clear goals in your life. follow your dreams, take actions towards them, and start investing as early as you can, regularly over time, and you will be off to the races. In this video over here, I'm gonna run you through one of my favorite investing platforms. As always, guys, I thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and use your time wisely. Ciao.